Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in V News English. Dear viewers, every year Pakistan and people of Pakistan observe 5th February as Kashmir Solidarity Day. This day is not only observed in Pakistan, it is also observed in Azad Jammu and Kashmir and across the world. Wherever people of Kashmir, wherever Pakistani diaspora resides, this day is observed with additional zeal. And the basic purpose is to express solidarity with the oppressed people of Jammu and Kashmir. In today's conversation, we will discuss to what extent these rallies, seminars, conferences, webinars, moreover, Pakistan embassies almost abroad in every country also host receptions, conferences. Purpose is to highlight Jammu and Kashmir issue in the country where they are posted so that there could be maximum awareness about this issue. So what message basically we convey on this particular day, on the Kashmir Solidarity Day to the people of Kashmir? And main question is by doing these all things we are able to build up pressure, diplomatic pressure, political pressure on India? We are fortunate to have with us a very young, dynamic Kashmiri activist, Dr. Mujahid Gilani, who is also chairman and the president of Kashmir Youth Alliance of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Very warm welcome in program Insight.
Thank you.
So, on 5th of February, as I said, the Kashmir Solidarity Day is observed not only in Pakistan, world over. There are rallies, seminars, conferences, webinars, and our political leadership, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, and military leadership, Chief of Defence Forces and Chief of the Army Staff Field Marshal Asim Munir, not only visited Muzaffarabad, but also went to the forward positions, met troops who are protecting Azad Jammu and Kashmir. What actual message goes across?
Thank you, Mateen Saab, for having me. And in fact, organizing this program on the 5th of February, this is a very important day, in fact, marking the solidarity with the people of Jammu and Kashmir, in fact, the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. As far as your question is concerned, with the travel of the Prime Minister of Pakistan, the dignitaries and other office holders of Pakistan, and the Chief of Defence Forces, the Field Marshal Hafiz Sayyid Asim Munir Sahab, one of the most important things is that it resonates with the people of Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, the area that is free today of the state of Jammu and Kashmir is the Azad Jammu and Kashmir. And with the travel and the arrival of the Prime Minister and the FM of Pakistan on the land territory of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, it actually sends a message across the line of control. It tells the people of Jammu and Kashmir, Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, that Pakistan stands with them.
You are not alone.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's not only the political, it's not only the moral and diplomatic support. Rather, Pakistan can go to any ends, just like the FM has said repeatedly in his speeches that Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah considered Kashmir as the jugular vein of Pakistan, and he maintained that and he stated that we still consider Kashmir as the jugular vein of Pakistan, and we can go to any ends. We can go to any ends, I repeat, for this very jugular vein. So I believe this particular ritual, this particular tradition of the bureaucrats, of the dignitaries of the Prime Minister and FM going to Azad Jammu and Kashmir, Muzaffarabad, meeting the political representatives in the Azad Jammu and Kashmir, sends a very strong message, tells the people of Jammu and Kashmir, in general the state of Jammu and Kashmir, that they are not alone.
What exactly is the prevailing situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir because of the blockade, because of the restrictions on information and dissemination of facts or factual information? We have very limited information. The information that comes from Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir to the Pakistan. Since you are the son of the soil and you might be in touch, what exactly is the situation now?
Lately, in Saab, it was the 26th of January that is considered as the Republic Day of India, that was observed, in fact, so-called celebrated across India. And unfortunately, Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, being the largest militarized zone, in fact, teamed with the Indian terrorist forces, this so-called Republic Day was also observed in that.
As a Black Day.
No, this was actually observed as the Republic Day of India, since this is the largest open-air prisoner. And the prisoner, unfortunately, has to obey whatever the prison command states. So what happened over there is that the common teachers in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir were forced to hoist the flag of India. That is the
unfortunate
there. Unfortunately, I will even quote that last year the father of Burhan Muzaffar Wani was forced to do so. Many of the teachers were threatened that if they don't do so, they will be struck off their jobs. And this is similar.
In case of hoisting Pakistani flag or flag of Azad Jammu and Kashmir.
Exactly. And in fact, the rallies over there, the so-called procession that took place in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, it was essentially notified to the government employees over there that you have to join this rally. If you don't join this rally,
Republic Day rallies.
Yes, exactly. Not only you will be struck off the job, but your families will be made to suffer because of your attitude and your behavior. So this is
the worst treatment being given to the people.
Absolutely. I mean, you can understand the people of Jammu and Kashmir who essentially do not want to be a part of it, were made to be a part of it by several threats, by making their families suffer and by making the individuals suffer as well, that they will lose their livelihoods. And lately, as you were asking me about the current situation and condition, the journalists in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir have been made to visit the local thanas, have been made to visit the local police stations to not only register themselves, but also reveal their sources of their news. The photojournalists in particular are being seen.
Draconian laws and rules there.
The photojournalists over there are being made to sieve their photos. If the photo presents something that goes against the Indian state and against the Indian dominion, those photos are not only confiscated, but their cameras are often damaged and destroyed. This is the current situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, where we totally understand and see that the hearts and minds of the people are with Pakistan, with the ideology of Pakistan. And I will state A.S. Dolat in this, who totally agrees
Former
with this
Ross
fact.
Chief.
Yes, exactly. Who totally agrees with this fact, I must say, that the people of Jammu and Kashmir are not with India at all. Their hearts and minds could never be won despite multiple attempts by the Indian dominion and the Indian hegemony.
How do you see support from international organizations, international human rights organizations? There was a time when there used to be statements, the international organization used to express concern. I mean, from Amnesty International to several other human rights organizations. These organizations are still following the past practice, expressing concern. They deplore situation because the statements from such organizations usually was encouraging for the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And these statements used to build up pressure on India. So,
see, the dilapidated situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is still being reported. We have Human Rights Watch, we have the Asian Watch, we have Amnesty International. In fact, the special rapporteurs of the United Nations have
Human Rights
recently
Commission,
talked about it. And India had, in one way or the other, had to refute those statements and claim that whatever the special rapporteurs have been stating is completely based on fallacious allegations. However, the world knows the truth. All these human rights, all these watchdogs have in fact still been printing and publishing reports on whatever India has been doing in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, particularly stating their concerns on the right to religious freedom. When I talk about this, I must also commend the Amnesty International about actually presenting these draconian laws to the world as the lawless law. This is what the PSA has been termed as. But when we talk about in general, when we talk about what goes on the ground, how this is translated on the ground, and does it really help the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, somehow the answer to it is sadly no. For once, yes, I agree, the documentation is excellent. The dossiers are completed. There are pictorial representations of whatever organized war crimes India is committing in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, but somehow it is not translated into anything meaningful for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. And this is where I believe the role of movers and shakers comes into being. And Pakistan now, particularly after the Markai Haq, as a very strong nation as it has emerged, I believe this is the moment. This
Not
is the
only
time.
in region but globally. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. This is the time that all these reports that have been submitted and published and surfaced by the watchdogs, human rights watchdogs, must be translated, must be presented and made, thrown into the face of Indian dominion so that the people of Jammu and Kashmir can have a piece of breath.
Do you think that the United States in 2026 will be in a position to build up some pressure on India so that it may come and hold talks? Because India has almost complete disregard to the UN, which is a true multilateral forum. So only option is left United States.
You see, at this point in time, the geopolitical, geoeconomic and geostrategic tides are in the favor of Pakistan. And reaping benefits from these at this very time and moment is very important. I believe considering Kashmir is in the vital interest of Pakistan's policy, it is important and imperative that Pakistan talks about Kashmir on any forum that is available. Be it the United States, that is the United States President Donald Trump often states and tells the world about our FM as his favorite personality.
True.
I believe that this is the point in time where we can actually reap some benefit for ourselves, that is Pakistan, and for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. And also, I understand that there are other forums that can be stimulated for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. For once, we have the Gaza Peace Board, but that is in particular for the people of Gaza. But I think similar venture can be made for the people of Jammu and Kashmir based on the United Nations resolutions centering the aspirations of the people of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, considering that they had already given their vows in favor of Pakistan.
So, in future, you think that Kashmir could be brought in the Board of Peace, because Board of Peace is originally for Gaza, but it could address any conflict, any unresolved issue. So, in future, do you hope that the Kashmir could be brought by US President in the Peace of Board?
You see, Mateen Saab, it's not about the title, it's not about the label. We can have any other title and nomenclature for it, but I think this is the time and period that if Pakistan has already entered into the Gaza Peace Board, I believe that Pakistan can stress this factor and tell and in fact make this request not only to the President of the United States but also to the other members that Kashmir is also a conflict. It is a war zone that is frozen in time, just like Palestine, and it needs to be resolved. And I believe after this May venture, when in fact Kashmir has once again emerged as a nuclear flashpoint globally, I believe that it will be heeded to. It's not only the US President, but also the other movers and shakers of the world who will listen. And I think that this is high time that with whatever nomenclature and title, they can formulate a board, they can formulate another delegation for the solution of the Kashmir conflict.
So keeping in view this massive increase in Indian defense budget, what do you think? There are threats to Azad Jammu and Kashmir and to the Pakistani security? And if so, how it could be met?
before Marka Haq, that is what we had was the Operation Sindoor conducted by the Indian terrorist forces on the Indian forces. And that Operation Sindoor was hailed as a success by the Indian political leadership and, in fact, by the Indian forces as well. What we see at this point in time is the proclamation of Operation Sindoor Part 2.
Part 2?
Yes, Part 2. In fact, we have heard from not only Amit Shah, we have also heard from Ajit Doval that the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is settled, and now it is going to be the Pakistan occupied Kashmir and the Gilgit-Baltistan that India is going to aim for.
They are eyeing on these two territories.
Yes, exactly. For once, they have given to the public of India that we were able to achieve our targets in Operation Sindoor, which obviously everybody knows they could not.
Then what is our strategy since they are eyeing on Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan?
Now, this is where the climax comes into fact. You see, Operation Sindoor was responded by the Bunyanu Marsus.
Exactly.
And in the Bunyanu Marsus, in fact, the PM Narendra Modi was able, in one way or the other, understand that Pakistan is not a child's play. And whatever India tries to do, whatever India attempts on Pakistan against Pakistan militarily, Pakistan is going to respond in a very befitting manner. And this is what happened practically. So for once, the Indian forces themselves now understand that they are not going to be able to conquer Pakistan with the help of their Rafales or their new technology, because Pakistan in one way or the other has been able to respond them in a very, very befitting manner. As far as the strategy is concerned, for once, I must say that the people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir are themselves a Martian race. Not only that, the people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir resonate with the armed forces of Pakistan. So if India considers such a venture, this is not going to be only the Pakistani army along the line of control, but it is going to be the people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir as well who are going to respond to the Indian advancing forces.
So, do people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir have any right to cross to the line of control, and in case of aggression, as you said, that it's not only the armed forces of Pakistan, but people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir can also go. In the past, we heard that there were certain things and people made their movement, but at certain point in time, they stopped their movement to the forward location. So, line of control and the people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir.
To be very blatant and in a one single word, the answer to your question is yes.
Yes.
The people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir and the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir do not identify this line of control as the dividing line, because this area of Azad Jammu and Kashmir and the area of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir are essentially one. And this unnatural line dividing the people across into the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Azad Kashmir does not exist in our eyes. Even as far as the United Nations resolutions are concerned, a Kashmiri can stand up against the Indian hegemony using the barrel of the gun. And the people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir are Kashmiris. They can cross the line of control by all laws and means, and they can fight for their brethren and sisters in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir against the Indian terrorist forces.
So I would like to draw your attention on, at the same time, there is rise in Islamophobia across India. So mainly the Muslims come under these tactics by extremist Hindus, and moreover, wherever across India, wherever Kashmiri students or Kashmiri businessmen who are doing their business, or Kashmiri students who are studying, they often come under the attack by these Hindu extremists. So your thoughts on this? The torturing the Kashmiri origin people in India and rising Islamophobia.
Lately,
What
Mateen
does this
Saab,
reflect?
Lately, Mateen Saab, in the Arunachal Pradesh, a Kashmiri shawl weaver, a boy who was even less than 20 years old, was beaten to pulp by the Hindutva goons only because he was over there to sell his Kashmiri shawls and to make a livelihood. This is not just one example. In fact, these examples are very rife and very common in the mainland India, where the people, the Hindutva ideology people, do not bear the presence of anyone who does not resonate with them, who does not have the same ideology as theirs. So these are examples that are common in the mainland India as far as the Kashmiris are concerned. And I will actually go beyond the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and the Kashmiris themselves. The Muslims of mainland India are also being tortured in the very same way. We have seen the Citizenship Amendment Act that made the people, the Muslims of Assam, into stateless state. They had no documentation that they could prove themselves as Indians, and they could not go anywhere else either. We have also seen the Muslim women and girls of UDP who were in fact made to face law courts and expulsion from schools and universities just because they used to wear hijab and veil. This is the situation in the mainland India, where Islamophobia is growing into a true but fearful reality. What we see in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is the true face of Islamophobia, and that is why I believe that the United Nations must take steps for this. It's not just the right to religious freedom, but rather it is the Islamophobia that we see very much rife in the Hindutva goons and the people with Hindutva ideology. They do allow mandirs, they do allow the saffron worships, but they do not bear and endure a simple word of our azan.
Rahul Gandhi is main opposition leader in Indian Parliament. He often makes scathing attacks on Narendra Modi's policies. So, does this mean that if this opposition in future, if Congress comes into power in New Delhi, do you think any shift would be visible from BJP's regime to in future if they come into power in future? So do you think that Congress will be having different approach towards Jammu and Kashmir and towards holding talks with Pakistan?
You see, in the past, we have seen that in one way or the other, the Congress may be a better governing body or governing authority in India as far as Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. But when we actually go with a microscopic look into it, we understand that there is no difference in the Indian policies vis-a-vis Kashmir, be it the BJP or be
Congress,
it the Congress.
IC, or any other
Whenever
party.
we have seen at this point in time in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, it's the National Conference that holds the reins. But we do not see any comfort in the lives of a common Kashmiri person. This is the reality. Be it BJP, be it the Indian National Congress, Kashmiri people are going to suffer because what they want is the popular right to self-determination. That is the plebiscite, a fair, impartial plebiscite and freedom from the Indian Constitution. So be it BJP or the National Congress, both of them are going to be the same for the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
The latest development is that government of Pakistan has announced that it will not play with India as far as the T20 is concerned. How you see this decision by Pakistan, which Pakistan took as a solidarity with Bangladesh, and Bangladesh was treated unfairly by Indian Cricket Board and ICC as well. So I need your comments that India is politicizing the sports and culture as well. So mainly now T20 is being attacked and it had unfairly dealt with Bangladesh. So your thoughts and comments on this?
Absolutely, Mateen Saab. ICC now has become the pet dog of Indian cricket board, and we see very well that ICC has had isolated the team of Bangladesh, and
True.
Pakistan did very well, since now we see that both these countries are coming back into brethren relationships, and in fact, it has been the first flight from Pakistan to Dhaka to Bangladesh after many, many years, I believe more than 20 years that is. So at this point in time, Pakistan's step to withdraw from a cricket match with India in the T20 is a very good slap, not only to the ICC, but also to the Indian Cricket Board, telling them that this is not only about Pakistan. In fact, if ICC and the Indian Cricket Board tries to nullify any other Muslim country, Pakistan is going to stand by it.
Lastly, I would like to seek your comment that recently we have seen a big trade deal between EU and India. So EU is a champion of human rights. So, there is no harm in striking or making any deal with India, but not at the cost of the blood of the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
In fact, lately, Indian farmers held a press conference against this EU-India trade accord. They were like, this is going to destroy the economy of the Indian farmers. So for once, I believe that whatever trade accord has occurred, has been met between India and EU, this is perhaps may not be in the benefit of the common people of India itself. But on the other hand, what we see and understand is that these trade accords, this vested monetary interest in the Indian economy of not only EU, that is the European Union, but also of the United States as well, and the other movers and shakers of the world who hold the economic ship of the whole world, in fact, globally. It is, I believe, that they never keep human rights before their trade agreements. This is the reality of the world today, where we see might is right, where we see that the vested interests come before any human rights. I believe that the world must understand that we Kashmiris are also humans, that the world must understand that there is a demon that is eating up us, that is eating us up, that is usurping the common Kashmiri people. Perhaps we are not important, perhaps we are not humans, but I think this has to be understood.
This has to be understood.
Brought to the world.
This has to be brought before the world, the sufferings of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you so much, Dr. Mujahid Gilani Saab, very young, dynamic Kashmiri activist, and who is the head and the president of Kashmir Youth Alliance. On this special day, when you were highly committed in certain other engagements, you spared time, participated in our show, and highlighted this issue with some new angles and aspects. And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.